everybody. 2 videos in 2 days. The ideas are starting to flow. The weather has changed, and you can see over my right shoulder here the stuff I'm going to start getting ready here very, very shortly. We're up in Pennsylvania, southeast Pennsylvania. Temperature's supposed to be going down to below 10 tonight, but it's supposed to warm up with rain again. But I'm kind of hoping that this is a trend to come. 2 or 3 years ago, we were ice fishing before Christmas. December 19th, we were ice fishing at my favorite Lake Antietam. I have to look up and see if they're going to stock it again. And I have to keep an eye on the ice out there. My son-in-law used to go out and measure it for me, but his work schedule has things changed, so I'm gonna have to start doing that all myself. But anyways, I've got to start getting my equipment ready. I got on not all of them. I've got most of my ice rod holders down here in my cellar, and I've got my ice fishing rods all hung by the chimney with care. And I want to start getting these ready, being that certain rods fit on certain holders and work different ways. I'm going to take you a run through these real quick. I know a lot of people like watching ice fishing videos. Well, it's more than just ice fishing. My sled's out in the shed. I put it together 3 years ago, and all this stuff fits in the shed, into the sled, and I pull it out in the ice, and as quick as I can get there, to include a little hand warmer heater, a seat, all the bait I need, and the little lures. But I'm going to be walking you through all the different types I use, all the different hangers I use for my rods, the pros and cons of them. I want to talk you through them. I have to reline all my reels. I don't want to hook into a nice one and lose them at the hole. So I'm getting all new line on all my reels. They've been sitting here now for, last year was no ice fishing. Last year was too warm. So it sat through last winter, and that's 2 years on a line. Not going to do it. I'll go over to one of my favorite sporting goods stores and buy some new line. I personally like 6-pound. That will cover almost any fish that we get through the ice here, to bring them up through the hole. As long as you're careful, I will have a gaff with me. It's just a small one, if it's a large fish. But let me take you through those that I like, those that I do not like, and show you how I'm going to be fishing this year. Let's start off with probably one of the cheapest ones they have. Now, I took still pictures of this very holder, and I'll post it on here as I'm talking about it. But this one here sits on the ice, as you can see, just like with that. And as a fish hits, it moves the rod tip. Now, there are times on the line you can put one of the little tiny foam floats. It disappears under the ice, set the hook. Problem with this is, in order to grab it while it's sitting, you have to lift, wiggle it out to get it out. Yeah, a lot of people go the opposite way and set it up high, but as you can see, it's a little bit of a pain to get this thing set up properly. And when you're kneeling on the ice, you get awful cold awful quick. So this one here, I'm not so sure I'm going to be using. One of the cheapest, probably get them for under $5 if I remember. I think they were $3.99. So we'll get on to the next one on the floor. There's the next one. Now you see this holds the rod extremely high. And when you get a bite, of course, way up here is where the rod tip is, virtually fishing straight down from the rod tip. Yes, this can be bent, Yes, this can be bent, but in order to set the hook, first you really have to pull this out of the spiral. Now it holds the rod really great, but you have to pull it out of the spiral, and if you don't have the proper handle on your rod to go into it, you wind up picking this up too. Sometimes that's not a bad idea, but then you're trying to fight the fish while holding this. Plus you got your hand inside here trying to crank and you're hitting. Again, sort of a pain, but a good holder. They're not going to take the rod under the water. On the floor. Number 3, as you can see, is the same as number 1. The distance to the end of the rod tip here, as you can see, is a good distance from the actual holder. This one being a little bit easier, you lift, you lift, set the hook at the same time. And the distance between here and here means I don't have to be kneeling on the ice to use this holder. I can actually stoop down, pick up the rod, and set the hook at the same time. It's all one big fluid movement. This one, yes, I'll probably be taking that one with me. Very happy with that one. Here's an automatic one. Now, as you can see, the flag is stuck underneath this little pin, and this little part right here, as you can see, comes right out of the reel. When a fish would pull on the hook on this side, it actually pulls the line out of that little alligator clamp, and oh, see, it didn't work. This is supposed to move to the up position to allow the flag to go up. So this is stuck in plastic like that. The line would lift this until the flag gets released. Then all you got to do is grab the rod and pull it out and continue to fight the fish. This one I sort of like. But I have found there's even a better way of fishing with a piece of wood like this. And it was homemade last year, and I did make a video about it. It has a little piece of metal on it. It has a little piece of metal on it that you make out of a coat hanger that allows the rod to automatically set the hook. Stand by, I'm going to get that piece of metal and show you. There it is. That little coat hanger hooked on a fishing rod right here in the last eyelet with the line going over the hook and into the water. When the fish pulls the line down, this releases from the eye, allowing the rod to set the hook. Now I'm going to try to show this to you on the film, so stand by. Okay, here's the setup. The part that I was talking about is right here, and it hooks into the eye. The red line that you can see right here, I hope, runs over the top of this right here. This is bolted to the piece of wood that I showed you earlier that keeps this in this position. Now, somebody else invented this. One of the guys on YouTube, and you can check it out, looking through. What happens was, as the fish would pull down on the line, this would actually pivot out of the eye. Now it's making a liar out of me. Oh, it's stuck. Okay. Anyways, this line would cause that to drop out, And as you can see, the rod is ready to go. It would actually set the hook. So, minus my little mess up right there, I'll have to fix that a little bit better. I love the way they work. I have 3 of them in my sled. They're all ready to go. This one here, why it's not working properly, I'm not sure. But as you can see right there, it's hooked to the wood with a little wire, some snap swivels to hold it in place. The other ones I have outside work a whole lot better. I just decided to show this as an example of what happens. So let me get back to finishing my presentation. Turn this away so I don't get hooked. But I'm getting ready. I am getting ready. I can't wait. I love ice fishing. I've got probably 10 ice fishing videos on my channel. I hope you enjoy them. I hope it's not very long till we get going. It's still before Christmas. It's the day after my Merry, 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 Merry video. And I hope you enjoy doing what I do. Keep watching. It helps. Give me a thumbs up. Maybe not for this one. This is just a prep. But I start hitting that ice fishing out there. Give me some thumbs up. Help me make some more. Thanks, everybody. Oops.